AirPods Pro 3, AirPods 4 with ANC. Both work great with iPhones, but the fit and listening experience, not to mention the price, couldn't be more different, so let's get into it. Starting with the design differences, the AirPods Pro 3 use foam-infused ear tips that create a sealed fit around your ear canal. Now, that seal doesn't just help with comfort, it improves bass response and provides passive isolation, which plays a big role in how well your active noise canceling performs. Now, as always, fit is personal. Some people find these new ear tips to be more secure and comfortable than before, while others still struggle to get a proper seal, or maybe they feel like they're just too invasive. Apple includes 5 tip sizes in the box, so it is worth experimenting if you don't get a good fit right away. Try them all and see what works. For example, I had to go down to the small tips with the Pro 3s, otherwise they just felt way too big and uncomfortable. Also, if you plan on working out with the Pro 3s, you're covered. They're IP57 rated for dust and water resistance, so they're totally fine if you want to use them at the gym or for a rainy day jog. On the other hand, the AirPods 4 with ANC stick to Apple's classic open fit design. And that's one size fits all. There are no tips, no seal, and nothing pressing deep into your ear canal. Just a familiar, lightweight shape, like the EarPods you used to get in the box with an iPhone back in the day. Yeah, Apple used to just give them to us back in the day, in a little plastic case and everything. Oh, and a charging block and a USB charging cable. Now, the open design can be more comfortable for some listeners, especially if you're sensitive to in-ear pressure, and they're also super light, which helps with all-day wear, but the trade-off is stability and sound quality, which we'll get into shortly. But without an ear tip, some people find they just don't stay put quite as well, especially during movement. And while they're sweat and splash resistant at IP54, that is slightly less rugged than the Pro 3s. In the end, it just depends on what kind of fit you like. If you're cool with that snug in-ear seal and want the best sound and stability, the Pro 3s are your best bet. But if you can't stand ear tips and you just want something light and easy to wear all day, the AirPods 4 with ANC might feel way more comfortable. Again, it's all about what feels right in your ears. When it comes to controls, the AirPods Pro 3 do give you the most in terms of control. You can squeeze the stem to play or pause your music, skip tracks or go back, hold the stem to switch between noise canceling and transparency mode, and if you hold both the stems at the same time, you can activate live translation. One of the best features is that you can swipe up and down on the stem to adjust volume. Super handy once you get the hang of it, and yes, you'll even hear a little beep when your swipe registered, which is a nice bit of feedback. The AirPods 4 with ANC offer roughly the same squeeze controls plus Hey Siri support, but the real downside? No volume swipe. So unless you're cool yelling at Siri in public, you'll need to use your phone. I mean, can you imagine? Hey Siri, turn the volume down. Hey Siri, turn the volume. Siri? Hey Siri, turn the volume down. So if it is a competition, the AirPods Pro 3 win, and honestly, I use the volume swipe feature all the time, especially during my commute to work. Up, down, gives you a little beep, it's great. Oh, heard a little beep again. Now, when it comes to connection and iOS integration, both the AirPods Pro 3 and the AirPods 4 with ANC use Bluetooth 5.3 and Apple's H2 chip. That means pairing is lightning fast across iPhones, iPads, and Macs. You just open the case near your device and boom, you're pretty much connected. They also support automatic switching through iCloud, so you can move from your iPhone to your Mac or your iPad without lifting a finger, and it's pretty seamless. Both models also support Find My with built-in speakers in the case to help you locate them. But only the AirPods Pro 3 includes Apple's U2 chip, where the streets have no name. I think that's U2. So the Apple's U2 chip gives you ultra-precise location tracking, like an AirTag, down to the exact direction and distance. So if you tend to lose your earbuds around the house, that's a serious upgrade. If you're on Android, skip the AirPods. They'll connect, but you lose spatial audio, custom controls, live translation, and you won't get firmware updates either. Just get something else like the Nothing Ear or the Galaxy Buds. There's lots of options, and you'll have a way better time. Now, when it comes to features, this is where the more expensive AirPods Pro 3 really pull ahead. They can function as clinical-grade hearing aids using Apple's built-in hearing assistant settings, which is huge for accessibility. There's also the heart rate sensor, built right into the earbuds, great for tracking workouts, and live translation is here too. Just hold both stems, speak, and you'll get real-time translation in supported languages. On top of that, you still get adaptive audio, spatial audio, transparency mode, and Apple's top-tier noise canceling. The AirPods 4 with ANC keep things a little simpler. You still get adaptive audio, active noise canceling, and yes, transparency mode as well. And like the Pro 3s, everything is customizable through iOS. Spatial audio, battery optimization, the works. But there's no heart sensor, there's no hearing aid support, and no live translation. These are no fuss AirPods with just enough features to feel premium without all the extras. So how's the microphones, you may be asking? Well, you tell me. What you're hearing now is a microphone from the AirPods Pro 3 with voice isolation engaged. What I got playing from this laptop is 1 hour of traffic noises. There's cars going by, there's honking horns, and we found that the mic performs pretty well. If you do want to take calls out and about on the go, your voice stays clear and up front. But you tell me, how does it sound to you? Can you hear the traffic coming from our simulated traffic test? And now you're hearing the microphone from the AirPods 4 with ANC. Again, we have voice isolation mode engaged. I got some traffic playing in the background. There's cars going by, there's horns honking, there's alarms going off. So what do you think? How does it sound to you? Let us know. And if you want to hear even more samples of these microphones, you can head over to soundguys.com and check out the full reviews. Battery life is another area where the AirPods Pro 3 pull ahead. In our testing, they hit 8 hours and 42 minutes of continuous playback with ANC on, which is a pretty big jump from the Pro 2's runtime of 5 hours and 43 minutes. The case adds even more juice and supports fast charging, Qi wireless, MagSafe, and even Apple Watch chargers. And if you're in a rush, just 5 minutes in the case gives you about an hour of playback. The AirPods 4 with ANC held up for 6 hours and 21 minutes in our standard test, but that was without ANC or transparency mode turned on. Once you activate those features, battery life drops to around 5 hours. The case supports USB-C and wireless charging, and you still get Apple's optimized charging to help preserve long-term battery health. Honestly, it's solid for open style buds, but if you're a heavy listener or rely on ANC a lot, the Pro 3s definitely last longer. Speaking of ANC, this is where the difference between ear tips and open fit really starts to show. Straight up, the AirPods Pro 3 have some of the best noise canceling we've ever tested. Better than the Sony WF-1000XM5, better than the QC Ultra. Yeah, it's that good. In our lab, they reduced the loudness of outside noise by an average of 90%, thanks to a combo of strong ANC and the passive isolation you get from that sealed in-ear fit. The AirPods 4 with ANC? They're not bad for open earbuds. They're able to reduce the loudness of outside noise by around 53%. Mostly in the mid-range. So they're fine for blocking out light office noise or background chatter, but they're not gonna stand up to subway rumbles or airplane engines like the Pro 3 can. Again, that in-ear seal gives the Pro 3 a huge advantage. So if ANC is high on your priority list, your search probably ends right there, as long as you can get a good fit. Now, when it comes to sound quality, again, the AirPods Pro 3 offer a more detailed and immersive listening experience compared to the AirPods 4 with ANC. That comes down largely to their sealed in-ear fit, which allows for better bass response and isolation from outside noise. In our testing, the Pro 3 earbuds produce a fuller low end and a wider stereo image, particularly in busy tracks with lots of layered instruments. They also use Apple's adaptive EQ, which adjusts in real time based on how the earbuds fit in your ears. That helps maintain a consistent tonal balance, even if the seal shifts slightly. However, there's still no manual EQ option, something a lot of us would like to see, so if you don't like the default tuning of these buds, you are out of luck or you're left to third-party EQ apps. Now, the AirPods 4 with ANC just don't quite offer the same bass response as the Pro 3, and that's mainly due to their unsealed design. You can clearly see this in our measurements. Without that in-ear seal, you lose the physical coupling that allows sub-bass to reach your eardrums, and as a result, kick drums, bass guitars, other bass instruments will sound less impactful. So yeah, if bass and treble detail matter to you the most, the AirPods Pro 3 are the clear winner. They just sound fuller, more immersive, especially in noisy environments. But if you value comfort over sound quality, the AirPods 4 with ANC still sound good, they just don't pack the same punch as the Pro 3. So which pair of AirPods should you buy? The Pro 3 retails for $249, while the AirPods 4 with ANC come in at $179. Go with the AirPods Pro 3 if you want the best ANC Apple offers, a sealed in-ear fit for better sound and isolation, and those bonus features like heart rate tracking, live translation, and hearing assistance. These are the most feature-packed AirPods you can get right now. Get the AirPods 4 with ANC if you hate ear tips and prefer a more casual open fit. They're a great option if you want just enough ANC to cut background noise without sacrificing comfort. And if you're looking for a more affordable step up from the standard AirPods, these make a lot of sense. Otherwise, if you want to take a deep dive into the newer AirPods Pro 3 and all its unique features, you can check out Harley's review on these bad boys right here. Happy listening.